Leute, iCrimax hier, was geht, Paulberger. Wir werden heute gemeinsam auf 11 Optical Illusion that will trick your eyes reagieren. Vor allem 11. Also auf Deutsch übersetzt, 11 optische Illusionen, die deine Augen reinlegen werden. Ihr wisst schon, Leute. Lasst mir mal gerne ein Like und ein Abo da und let's go mit dem Video.
The first one is creepy.
Let's go. Creepy. Okay, also es wird unheimlich.
This is a famous drawing created in 1892 by Charles Allen Gilbert.
Krass.
Called All is Vanity.
Sieht einfach aus wie ein Totenkopf, ne?
It can come off as a little creepy.
War eine Frau, die vorm Spiegel sitzt.
Most people who look at it don't even realize that the drawing is much more than it seems. Have you noticed anything unusual about this picture? You have 10 seconds to figure it out. Ja,
klar, es sieht halt aus wie ein Totenkopf, es ist aber eigentlich eine Frau an ihrem Schminktisch vor einem Spiegel mäßig. Ist ja klar. Aber es ist ein geiles Bild.
Those who look at the drawing notice either a woman sitting in front of the vanity mirror or a spooky-looking skull. If you've managed to spot both of them right away, congratulations. Your visual perception is pretty impressive.
Ja, wir sind halt einfach gut. Wir sehen sowas, ne? Wir sind halt einfach die Besten, mashallah. Okay, versteckte Gesichter.
Here's another challenging image where you have to find something that's hidden right in plain sight. Now, at first glance, it might look way too easy. After all, everybody can clearly see at least 4 faces in the tree branches. But like any optical illusion, there's a catch. See how many more faces you can spot in the next 10 seconds.
Ah, okay, wir müssen Gesichter finden. Guck mal, allein hier ist ein Gesicht, hier ist ein Gesicht. Da ist noch eins. 3, 4.
If you found 10 faces hidden among the branches, then you're an extremely observant individual. Some say that these faces are actually those of famous public figures. Can you recognize anybody?
Die 1, 2, 4 und 6, die habe ich gesehen.
In the comments below.
Oha, Alter. Crazy. Crazy.
A fair lady. This gorgeous lady must be a ballerina. Otherwise, how does she keep rotating like that with that much grace? Like on her toes? But we're not here to discuss her artistic skills. Instead, can you tell if she is moving in one or 2 directions?
Also für mich dreht die sich einfach nur nach rechts von mir aus. Also so. Sieht das so aus, als würde die sich auch in die andere Richtung drehen? Ja, für mich irgendwie nicht.
What do you think? Left, right, both.
Ja, nach rechts.
The correct answer is she is moving in the right direction.
Das sag ich doch, hä? Für wen sieht das denn so aus, als würde die nach links drehen?
Cafe wall illusion.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich ultra hyperintelligent bin oder.
The name of this illusion was inspired by a tiled wall of a cafe in Bristol. Like Starbucks? Nah. But I will tell you no more for now.
Was ist jetzt hier das Rätsel?
Can you tell if the dark lines are parallel to each other or inclined? You have 10 seconds to figure it out.
Hä, ob die dunklen Linien parallel zueinander sind oder inclined? Ich weiß nicht mal, was inclined heißt, ey. Keine Ahnung. Leute, keine Ahnung, ich verstehe die Fragen nicht. Mein Englisch ist broke.
Again, it seemed like an easy question. The lines are so obviously inclined. It turns out that they're not. Let us blur the image quite a bit. More. Now that all the small elements are completely blurred, you can see the dark blue lines are actually parallel to each other.
Ach so, ob die, so diagonal oder
is
parallel
known as the cafe wall illusion. It was first described more than 100 years ago, but got its name only in the 1970s, when a guy named Steve Simpson noticed a similar effect on the wall of a cafe in Bristol. Little black and white bricks at the intersection of wide lines make this illusion possible. Curved elements inside the blue lines only make this effect stronger. The reason we see
okay, jetzt check ich das. Es sieht so aus, als wäre das so, ob das schief oder gerade ist. Hab ich doch verstanden hier. Ist doch klar.
Number 5. The impossible triangle.
Okay, das unglaubliche
Meet the impossible triangle. But
Dreieck.
wait, what makes it so impossible, you say? You have 10 seconds to figure it out before you hear the explanation.
Hey, das halt in sich geschlossen ist, ne? Das geht ja immer weiter. Das ist aber echt eine krasse optische Illusion, ne?
The impossible triangle, known as Penrose Triangle, is so called because it can never exist in reality. If it did exist, it would be absolutely contrary to the rules of Euclidean geometry. What is so wrong with this figure? Well, if you follow the ball sliding on the surface of the triangle from the top point, you will see that the left side is extending away and the right side is leaning towards you. However, they both seem to be on the same plane.
Stimmt, das kann ja gar nicht so existieren.
Makes it seemingly possible to the human eye. Now, number 6, bicycle.
Das Fahrrad.
Okay, this one seems pretty plain. There is a bicycle and it's moving.
Okay.
Still, there is something wrong here, something mysterious.
Ja, ey, das ist doch klar.
What the trick is? You have 10 seconds.
Oh, das fährt rückwärts. Guck doch mal, wie die Reifen sich drehen. Das fährt rückwärts. Ist doch klar. Da ist jetzt wieder der intelligente iCrimax hier am Start. Sieht man doch, dass es rückwärts fährt, ey.
What makes the bicycle move? Obviously, the fact that the spokes in its wheels are rotating. Nah, it can't be that easy when it comes to optical illusions. In fact, the spokes remain in place, and the colors that fill the wheels, those 50 shades of gray, that keeps changing. This illusory motion effect is created thanks to small, quick eye movements. Scientists are still working on figuring out how this phenomenon works to understand the perception of motion better. Ah, now I present to you Rubiks Cube.
Der Zauberwürfel.
What are these red and green and white lines all about? It looks like something familiar, but what exactly is it? If you need more time, just pause the video.
Looks like something familiar, but what exactly is it? Hä? Ja, das ist doch ein Zauberwürfel, oder was ist jetzt hier die Frage?
We are going to need a cylindrical mirror to get the right answer. It's a Rubiks Cube.
Hä? Ja, ist doch klar, die haben doch davor schon davon gesprochen.
Based on anamorphosis. Hey, I remember anamorphosis.
Hab ich jetzt auch nicht verstanden.
She used to live down the street. Actually, it's a form of perspective. The idea of it is to transform images so distorted it is almost impossible to guess what they are into something that makes sense using a cylindrical mirror. And it only makes sense if you do it from one special point, so only one person can see it at a time.
Das sieht dann immer nur eine Person quasi
richtig. It would be a great way
richtig.
to send hidden messages. It turns out this technique is not a 21st century 3D era invention. It actually dates back to late Renaissance, which was in the 16th century.
Also in der Renaissance wurde diese Technik auch schon verwendet mäßig.
Chessboard. You can't play any chess with this board because it's moving all over the place. Or is it? You have 10 seconds to do so, and please try not to get hypnotized.
Das ist krank. The lines are rotating. Ja, für mich sieht das schon so aus, als würden die rotaten.
As hard as it is to believe, the eyes actually remain where they were. You can see it if you focus on just one of them. If you stare at one point and ignore the constant movement of black and white dots, it all becomes clear. And dots away, huh?
Ja, das ist doch, bewegt sich doch.
Counting down from number 9, upside down Steve Buscemi. Can you tell me what's wrong with Steve Buscemi? I mean, I hope Steve is perfectly fine, but can you tell me what's wrong with the second picture?
Der Mund.
These pictures look the same to me. Hit thumbs up if you think so too.
Ne, der
Let's
Mund.
try to turn it upside down. Oh no, that is
Lol.
way too scary.
Sind die Augen, ja,
It
und
seems
der
like
Mund
my
auch.
eyes tricked me again. By
Lol.
the way, here is another fun celebrity optical illusion.
Lol. Das sah echt voll gleich aus.
Hermann Grid illusion and scintillating grid illusion. Look at this black square crisscrossed with perpendicular white lines. The white dots situated at the intersections of the grid shift their color from white to gray and back. When you concentrate on a particular dot, you see that it's white. But as soon as your attention wanders, the dot turns gray. That's the Hermann Grid illusion. Amazing, isn't it? We can take this illusion one step further by positioning white dots at the intersections of gray lines, all placed on top of the black background. Look at this image attentively, and you'll notice black dots starting to pop up at the intersections of the grid. Doesn't it create a scintillating effect?
Also bei mir nicht.
Another name for this
Bei
illusion
mir
is
funktioniert
a
der Trick nicht.
simultaneous light contrast illusion, as you perceive the dots as white at one moment, and then, almost immediately, you see them as black. How is it going? Have you managed to...
Ey Leute, mir wird das hier langsam zu crazy. Ja, ich hoffe, es hat euch trotzdem gefallen. Lasst gerne mal ein Like und ein Abo da. Ganz verrückte Sachen. Und dann würde ich sagen, bis dahin, haut rein, Leute. Euer iCrimax.